Sabah everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today I have for you an unboxing and initial impressions of the Oukitel K6. The K6 was recently announced and it's now available if you'd like to pick it up. Of course there'll be information in the description below, but let's not waste any time. Also, pay attention to the number 6 because it's going to be representing a lot of things that talks about this device. This is TK. Let's go ahead and check it out. Very simple design, K6, Oukitel. Let's check it out. And here we are, the Oukitel K6. Very simple. Looks like it already comes with a case. Let's take this thing out. You know, when you put it in with a case, it's a little harder to take out. So here's the Oukitel K6. Definitely has some weight. Now, a few things about this device. The number 6 represents many things in there, one of which obviously is the 6300 milliamp battery that's built in. So that's one of the 6s. So you'll get a 6300 milliamp battery, one of the biggest things that you can get. Not only that, I don't know if you've already noticed it or not, we have 2 cameras with flash on the front, 2 cameras flash on the back, fingerprint sensor, and of course a very nice, this is an 18:9 aspect ratio 1080p 6-inch display. Now looking over the box, we have two different compartments. We have the cables here, we have the power supply, as well as the SIM removal tool. And then here they are, the actual power chargers. So this is capable of charging the entire 6300 milliamp battery that we have built in here from 0 to full in 2.5 hours. We have an OTG cable for reverse charging, a USB Type-C to USB Type-A cable here for charging as well as data sync. And of course we have the 3.5mm headphone jack adapter dongle now, since we lost the 3.5mm headphone jack on the device, and the SIM rejector tool to be able to get access to the SIM card. Now focusing back on the device, as you notice, there is a case that's on top of it. Let's go ahead and take this off, and as usual we do have a screen protector installed, so it has the word Oukitel. Hopefully you guys can see that, and then we'll go ahead and remove it right there. Right out of the box, you also notice that there isn't a pre-applied screen protector, although there is a bubble there. That's going to drive me crazy. I'm going to have to work on that. The front-facing specifications are what we have here is a 13-megapixel sensor and an 8-megapixel sensor complementing each other for that. The ability to do not only bokeh, but also taking better pictures. And the 13-megapixel sensor is the one closer to the earpiece. We also have a front-facing LED flash as well as the earpiece on the top. On the right side, we have the volume rocker and the power button. So the power button is closer down, and it's kind of positioned in the center. There is no texture on the power button, so there's no way to kind of tell the difference except for the length of the button. On the left side, we have the SIM ejector, the SIM card or SIM tray that also includes an SD card capability. On the bottom, we have the USB Type-C connector as well as a bottom firing speaker and one of the microphones. On the top, we have no more other than basically just one of the antenna bands. On the back, we have just some information. So you'll notice right there, the SD card. You have either 2 SIM cards or a SIM card and an SD card tray. And of course, volume rocker, power button. This is the black variant. There is 3 different colors. There's, I think from my understanding, a blue one, a black one, and I think there's a 3rd color. I'll have to double check that for you guys. One of the things they did here that's slightly different than other devices, and I hope you guys could see that in the display here. Let me see if I can get it to shimmer right there. That little shimmering glass, they did this is very similar or very reminiscent of what I used to see on the Honors, on the blue devices. And they did basically kind of like a 5D glass implementation, so you can get that nice little shimmer. It looks even better on the blue one, but with the black one, it looks very nice. On the back, we do have a 21 megapixel sensor with an 8 megapixel sensor, of course, rounded off with a fingerprint sensor on the front and a dual tone LED flash. Overall, very nice. The specifications, as I mentioned, it's a 6-inch display, 18:9 aspect ratio. We have 64 gigs of internal storage, 6300 milliamp battery, and of course, this is the K6. A lot of 6s in this name because they wanted to round it off, I guess. Turning it on is pretty simple, and setting it up is no different than any other Android 7.1. Going through that process is very easy. So I went ahead and gone through that, and I set up the Wi-Fi, connected it. We have the microphone or the assistant option on the left, as well as the camera on the right, and of course, swiping from the bottom takes us home. Again, very nice, very long display. I mean, you could see that. And this is a full HD plus display. So we're getting that 18:9 aspect ratio. We have the 2 set up on the front on the camera. One of the things that's very unique, it's 4 cameras, 2 on the front, 2 on the back. As far as the actual system, let's go ahead and go down here. We'll go into the settings. As I mentioned, we are Android 7.1 under the hood, 6 GB RAM, 6-inch display. And as far as the main camera, it's a 21 megapixel, as I mentioned to you in the front, with an 8 megapixel complementing camera. And then supplementally, which is the one in the front, is a 13 megapixel sensor. This is the main UI. You have an app drawer by default. Scrolling through, we have most of the Google Play services installed. We do have a pedometer as well as an FM tuner. And then, if I'm not mistaken, we have YouTube and the wireless update app, which is what they use to update their operating system. The other thing here, we have, of course, a dialer, contacts, messages. I noticed one thing is that they have the Samsung Internet Browser as well as Chrome installed on the same device, but they do put the Samsung browser in the front. So on the top, we have some more options here for the toggles, flashlight, airplane mode, and of course, screen record. You have the ability to turn on the QR code sensor, the battery percentage, of course, and then data saver, casting, hotspot. It does have NFC, which is a really good plus. From the top, we have just the suggestions right now that we're looking at. We have Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, SIM cards. You have the ability of supporting 2 different SIM cards, and as I mentioned, you can replace one of the secondary SIM cards with an SD card if you want to use that. Data usage, of course, will turn on. Under more, we have the NFC, as I was mentioning to you, airplane, VPN, network settings. So under display, we have mirror vision, which is a high optimization to be able to get the quality of the picture to look even better. Brightness level, adaptive brightness level, wallpaper sleep, screen lock. Of course, we have the LED indicator color options here, so we can go in there and customize it for battery low and so on. Navigation bar, you can customize that by either reversing it or keep it in this order. By default, the Recents app is on the right. You can reverse it and put it to the left. So that's a nice option to be able to do that. Font size and display size, as you know, you can configure that. And then when device is rotated, it basically rotates the screen. So auto rotation. Menu here gives you access to be able to jump between all the different options that you like. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to switch from display to notifications. And this is going to be where you customize your notification options. We'll go into sound. Volume right now is set to low. I'm going to set it here, middle. We have the ability of customizing all of our sound. Other sounds is where you can customize these areas. And then sound enhancement to be able to, basically best loudness. It increases the sound quality coming out. It's kind of like a little bit of an EQ tweak there. And let's go back here. And then apps, these are just the apps that you have installed. You can customize and remove them if you don't want to. If you don't want them. Storage, out of the box, you are going to get 50.59 gigs of storage available to you with the fact that you had 64 gigs of built-in. So you are going to be able to use a lot of different things, and you do have the built-in browser that's built into the system, as well as another one that's been included from Oukitel. Battery level, we are running now. This still has 78%, and it says 6 days approximate left. I wouldn't trust this yet, as you notice. It has a skip in battery life here, so I wouldn't necessarily trust that. So battery percentage, you can turn that on here to be able to add that to the battery. We have Wi-Fi screen, not much else has been used. Memory, as I mentioned to you guys, we have 6 gigs of RAM, and out of the 6 gigs, we have 1.9 being used. So available to us, 3.8, solid usage. It's going to be really good from RAM management, at least at that point. Next, we're going to go to full screen mode. This is where we'll be able to customize some apps to just take advantage of the entire full screen. And of course, smart sensory, we have the launcher, the camera, the gallery, and the lock. Of course, we do have one-handed mode by just swiping in from the bottom left to the left. You bring it in and swipe it back, takes it back to normal view for be able to make it a little bit more manageable. Location-based services, security, fingerprint, account, Google, languages, and I'm going to get back to security for a second for you guys. Backup reset, date and time, accessories, accessibility, printing, schedule on and off, and then of course the Android 7.1. Going into the security is where you're going to be able to get some nice functionality. You'll notice there's an option here for face unlock. Yes, this device does have face unlock built in, and it works to unlock your device as well. So we have fingerprint sensor, face unlock, and you can set up the fingerprint sensor. I'm just going to show you guys the fingerprint sensor is in the back. And then setting it up is pretty simple. You just put your fingerprint here. You can do it. It's pretty quick as far as reading the setup, and then we'll see how it works as far as locking and unlocking our device. So here, and we have it set up. So we're going to say done, and we're going to lock the device, unlock it, and here you go. Very fast, very simple. Now, the next step, of course, is going to be face unlock, which is really cool. So we're going to say next, and you'll notice right there, it's looking for a face. So now all I need to do is place my face in the middle of the screen and wait for the face detection to say complete. And here we have, it says done. So now we can be able to lock the device. All my fingers are in front of you guys here. And the device works right away. So face unlock works definitely very, very nice. So next thing we're going to look into is the camera. We have many different features. Of course, we have a flash on the back, the gallery on the left, and of course we can actually access the different filters that you have the option to be able to using here. Under the settings for picture, you have GPS location, shutter, face detection, preview size. We can keep it between 4:3 or 16:9, and of course picture size you can go all the way up to 21 megapixels, which is the back sensor is what we get. And you can go down as well to maybe shrink down the size. Self-timer, anti-flicker if you have any concerns taking pictures of images, and of course capture. We have here the ability of capturing it, turning it on, and then 0 shutter and HDR. Very nice, very easy. And as far as video, same thing. We can go into the settings and then we can select the options. Now it only records up to 1080p. It does not go to 4K, so just keep that in mind. And then we'll be able to also switch over to the front-facing camera and then go into video options as well. and we'll see front-facing maximum resolution is 720p, not 1080. So you're losing some of that resolution, but again, it's a 13 megapixel sensor. And just to kind of show you guys, here it is. The sensor on the right is the one that's the main sensor. The one on the left is the depth sensor. So we are using the 8 megapixel on the left side to be able to create that bokeh effect, which is what that option here is under blur. And then you can customize the level of blurriness in the picture. Okay, so I'm using the front-facing camera on the Oukitel K6. This is a 13 megapixel sensor complemented with an 8 megapixel sensor. Obviously, we're only using the 13 megapixel sensor now to take the video. But the main benefit here, or at least what I'm trying to show you guys, is just a quick example of the 720p front-facing footage out of the Oukitel K6. Let's switch over to the 21 megapixel sensor in the back. Hopefully I'm in focus. Now I switched over to the 21 megapixel sensor in the back. Again, the Oukitel K6 right here. Main benefit here, you're going to be able to get the 1080p quality video here on the back, as you're able to basically use the full sensor. I'm hoping in an update in the near future we'll be able to see 4K, but at this point, again, 1080p is not bad, and that's what we're going to be able to get out of the back-facing sensor. So video quality doesn't seem to be that bad. Let's go ahead and switch over real quick to YouTube. I want to be able to show you guys a quick audio test of something. So here we have a quick video setup that I loaded from NCS. Now you are able to pinch and zoom to fill the screen entirely. This is a new feature that's built into YouTube, so you can either do that or original or pinch and zoom. Again, this gives you that full screen display. The other thing I want to make sure you guys are aware of, obviously, is we have here the MTK 6763 powering the entire thing. It's an octa-core processor at 2 gigahertz basic top speed. And again, as I mentioned to you guys, with the cameras on the front and the back, they're all at aperture 2.0. So let's go ahead and play some audio. I'm going to boost it up all the way to 100% and keep it at, obviously minimum levels just to see how it plays. Also, you'll notice we are able to go to 1080p on YouTube, so it does recognize the 1080p quality. Sounds pretty good. I'm really impressed with the quality of the audio that comes out of this. This is definitely louder than some of the other ones that I've received from Oukitel. The main thing you want to keep in mind is two things. A, this is actually a really good powerhouse. I mean, it has a really nice setup. We're looking at 2 cameras on the back, flash, fingerprint sensor, face unlock, NFC, all the things that you normally would expect from out of just basically like one of the main flagships. 6 gig RAMs, 64 gigs of internal storage, 6300 milliamp battery. Now, as far as thickness and actual design, I want to make sure you guys are aware of, this is definitely a little thicker than most of your devices. And the reason behind that, of course, is the fact that we have a 6300 milliamp battery. As you saw, it's definitely a very nice device, a lot of good potential into it, a lot of nice specifications that we're getting here. Again, a lot of 6s in there, and I'm sure I've already covered that for you guys. We're for an octa-core processor, and we have USB Type-C with quick charging from 0 to 100% in 2.5 hours. So that's 6,000 milliamp battery charged from 0 to 100. So imagine about half an hour, that would give you even enough to be able to carry you through the rest of the day in case you need that extra boost. 1080p plus, and it is compatible with YouTube. YouTube does recognize the 1080p, so that's really nice. So let me know in the comments below, what are some of the things you'd like me to focus on in the full review. I want to say thank you very much to Oukitel for allowing me to check out the K6. Again, it's brand new, it's now available. I'll give you guys, of course, links in the description below if you'd like to pick it up. I'm going to be checking it out, trying to test it out here in the US and see how we can use it. I am aware that the bands on this device are not going to work 100% as far as LTE in the US, so keep in mind the markets that you're looking for this device and check the bands and the compatibility there. But other than that, thank you very much for supporting the channel. Like and subscribe as usual, and I'll see you guys in the next video.